One Zambia, one nation. Thank you so much for joining us for Zanis News. To present it, I'm Michelle Olubinda. The headlines. Government cautions contractors working on the lead remediation project to incorporate local contractors. ZNS offloads millimill to mitigate shortage. Zambia-Mozambique in talks to revamp Mchinji railway line. And Chess Federation team heads to Kenya for Chess Open Championship. The news in detail. Government has cautioned the contractor working on the $4.5 million United States lead remediation project to ensure local contractors are incorporated. Kawe District Commissioner Lennox Shimwambwa, who inspected the work, says the World Bank project is meant to reduce the effects of lead pollution in the district. Kelvin Tembo now reports.
Government has continued to take action to ensure effects of lead pollution in Kabwe is reduced. In partnership with the World Bank, government is rehabilitating the canal known as Ingalande by the locals, which used to carry toxic and lead runoff from the closed Kabwe mine. The canal, which stretches through 5 densely populated townships of Makululu, Kasanda, Rewes, Choa and Waya, has been blocked due to flooding and overgrown vegetation, making it difficult for the flow of lead runoff and storm waters.
Bank-funded project, one of the many projects that World Bank is funding, $4.5 million project to basically try and cement the area, to cement the canal, the base with concrete and also on the sides. Basically also try and remove whatever minerals that may be around this canal, clean up whatever dirt may be in the canal so that we have a safe passage of water running all the way to Kalulu Waterway. So basically, it's a World Bank funded project, a lead remediation project.
Mr. Shimwambwa emphasized the need to involve locals in the project.
Government has interest in what goes on. The projects that come in this district, we have to create employment for the youth.
Yes.
We have to create employment for the women.
Yes.
That has to be done, and in a very coordinated way, and in a way that is very transparent.
Yes.
But if we see works begin like this, and we just see 15, 16, 17 people over a project of that magnitude, then it worries me.
Yeah, no, of course.
And Downtouch Investments, the contractor working on the project, says locals will be involved in the works along the canal.
Taking the vegetation out. So there's no actual job that actually starts, just taking vegetation. That's why we have people from there's most 7 councillors, so we have one from every ward. Taking out the vegetation now with an excavator. Because if you start from the Makalulu, it was full of vegetation. So we put everything to the sides and then we're going to start loading off the truck. So most of the subcontractor work is going to be concrete, steel fixing, those types of things. So there's going to...
Kelvin Tembo for Zanis in Kabwe, Central Province.
Today being Good Friday, hundreds of Christians in Kasama district held a sorrowful procession to depict the painful suffering that Jesus Christ endured before being crucified on the cross of Calvary. The Way of the Cross procession, which started at 09 hours from St. John's Catholic Church, lasted for 3 hours with church leaders from various congregations urging Christians to emulate the works of Jesus Christ in their daily lives. More in the following report.
Good Friday is a Christian holiday commemorating the crucifixion of Jesus on the cross of Calvary. Christians from different denominations observe Good Friday with fasting and church services. In Kasama, the Catholic, Anglican and Methodist Church undertook the Way of the Cross procession depicting the suffering of Jesus Christ before he was crucified. The procession was from St. John's Catholic Church to President's Park. Archbishop of Kasama Diocese, Ignatius Chama, gives the significance of the day.
We have been remembering the journey that Jesus took from the time that he was condemned to the time that he was crucified. Suffering does not make sense. But if it's suffering in view of your belief that there is life thereafter, then you can understand that it is worthwhile to go through this suffering, because at the end of the day, you are going to find life eternal.
And other churches like the Evangelical Church in Zambia and the United Church of Zambia congregants gathered in their respective churches to commemorate the day.
Now the devil and I want you to know this. It is not in God's plan.
Sweat like blood was coming from his body because of the heaviness of what he was to carry. It was heavy to take the burden of sin.
A question was also posed to Christians to know their understanding on the meaning of Easter.
This is the moment that we need to reflect, number one, on the family, number two, we reflect on Jesus Christ, our Lord himself. We reflect on our relationship with our nation.
Yes, there's at one hour go Jesus at when somebody akasu. So chila umo afuire amona na ye no kwa ine. Ubu biwandi obomfule mpate chitemu ikona nende ndetemu abantu bananti.
Helen Bwalia for Zanis in Kasama, Northern Province.
And Christians have been called upon to emulate the self-sacrifice exhibited by Jesus during his passion, death, and resurrection as they celebrate Easter holiday. The call has been made by Mongo Catholic Diocese Pastoral Coordinator, Father Obren Mwanza. Speaking to Zanis in an interview, Father Mwanza said Jesus sacrificed his life for the sake of mankind in order to save and give them complete life. Father Mwanza has since called on Christians to reflect deeply on the mission entrusted to them of saving lives. And International Ministries of the Living Word Temple Apostle Daniel Nawa says Easter weekend marks a great reminder to all Christians about Jesus' sacrificial love to humanity. Apostle Nawa pointed out that Easter is a period that reminds people of when the sacrificial love was surrendered in order to save mankind.
The best example that we can get from the PDR, which is a passion, death, and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ, is the self-sacrifice. He sacrificed his life for the sake of the humanity, to save them and to give them life incomplete. We also learn love, that love is very much important, and when you have love, you will have no any other grudge with anyone, and so you live in peace, in harmony, and in joy. The advice that I would give to all listeners is that it is good to emulate our Lord Jesus Christ's life, which is the life of self-sacrifice, to reflect deeply on our mission that is entrusted under our cares.
So I'm reminding you, my fellow clergy, to tell our congregations that it's not a matter of feasting or celebrating or doing this. We should celebrate Jesus in our homes or in the churches, thanking God for allowing him to die for our sins. So if you are celebrating Easter, Good Friday, Easter Sunday, all these celebrations, we should carry all that contains or is potented with them. One, I say sobriety, being sober in our minds, being humble, cheerful, and obedient to God.
And now Copper Belt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has flagged off the selling of mealie meal that the Zambia National Service, ZNS, is supplying on the market to address the shortage of the staple food. Mr. Matambo says ZNS has offloaded more than 3,000 bags of 25 kgs mealie meal in Kitwe, Kalulushi and Chingola, where the shortage is critical. He has assured the people that government is working to ensure that there is no shortage of mealie meal in the province. Here is a report.
The Zambia National Service has commenced the supply of the cheap mealie meal on the Copper Belt to cushion the shortage of the staple food and the high price of the commodity. Copper Belt Province Minister Elisha Matambo flagged off the supply of the mealie meal meant to stabilize the price of the commodity in most towns in the province.
We will try our best to stop the smuggling. To the people of Copper Belt, I want to appeal to you to remain calm. This is just a chapter and it's a period. It's a chapter which will pass. Just like we had the problem with the load shedding, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, I think, moved in, and I think in short period of time, load shedding was a thing of the past. I want to assure the people of Copper Belt that they should not panic, the situation is under control. I'm sure I have seen the interventions, even from His Excellency, by start sending milling meal from ZNS, so that what is being produced here by the milling companies on the Copper Belt, plus what will be coming from Musaka, I think very soon the availability of milling meal, I think, will be stabilized.
Zambia National Service Regional Commander outlined the quantities which have been supplied.
Total bags of milling meal is 3,800, loaded on 3 trucks, broken down as follows. The first truck, the Honorable Minister, sir, has got a total of 1,400 by 25 kgs bags of milling meal.
The intervention in the supply of milling meal by the Zambia National Service on the Copper Belt will help to alleviate the problem of the shortage of the commodity. Tovin Ngombe, Zanis, Ndola.
In Northwestern Province, the supply of milling meal in Solwezi District is expected to stabilize following the offloading of the commodity on the local market by Matanda Farms Limited. The milling plant is offloading about 1,200 by 25 kilograms bags of milling meal daily for the next 6 days.
It has been a scarce commodity in the last few weeks on the local market in Solwezi District. The market is, however, expected to be flooded with milling meal in the next few days.
Looked at the need to arrest the situation of the shortage of milling meal. Okay. So for a start, we can manage to be offloading 1 truck every day for the next 6 days.
Essential Investments Limited has been shut for about a month now due to lack of feed, but the Food Reserve Agency has come on board to revamp the operations by providing some white maize to the milling plant.
Solwezi, the quantities have depleted. However, in the neighboring districts, namely Mwenelunga, we have significant quantities, which are, of course, could actually cushion what is obtaining in the province.
We didn't have maize, so that's why we had to shut production. It's been 1 month. We appreciate the support given by the government, because we have to work with them, right? And we'll make sure that the supply is there.
Northwestern Province Minister Robert Lihefu is happy with the cooperation from the local millers.
If every day you're offloading about 1,000 plus bags of meal, I think we'll be able to stabilize this situation. On behalf of the people of Northwestern Province, I would like to thank Mutanda Farm for a quick response that he has given.
Mwape Mwesa for Zanis in Solwezi District.
Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, says government is committed to providing an enabling environment for the growth of digital payment systems. Speaking when he launched the digital payment system of levies at Mfulira Municipal Council, which is being done in partnership with Kazang, Mr. Nkombo says digital payment leave less room for accusation of impropriety in handling public funds. More in the following report.
The Mufulira Municipal Council has launched a digital payment system that will see all levies paid to the local authority being done through mobile money in order to improve accountability of funds. Local Government and Rural Development Minister Gary Nkombo launched the digital system that will be done in partnership with Kazang.
This step that you've taken to embrace digital payment system is the fast-track way of coming around the issue of your indebtedness. There will be less and less accusations of impropriety.
Mufulira Mayor Tanaeli Kamanga said the council has been losing revenue due to physical handling of cash.
We've got a budget burden of 101 million. We want to clear it through automation.
And Kazang Head of Sales and Marketing, Bradley Chingobe, said the move by the local authority is a bold step towards attaining a cashless society, in line with President Hakainde Hichilema's directive to the Bank of Zambia to come up with mechanisms to reduce cash transactions.
This partnership gives ample credence to the fact that mobile money is flexible, efficient, and reliable.
Kankoyo Member of Parliament Hudson Maveta and his Kantanshi counterpart Anthony Mumba were hopeful that the new system will see the council efficiently executing its duties as it will have enough revenue. Rachel Chisulo, reporting for Zanis in Mufulira.
Still in the news, the governments of Zambia and Mozambique have opened talks to revamp the Chipata-Muchinji railway line. Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali says Zambia wants to utilize the railway to open up the country to the Nakala corridor, which will also serve as a shorter link to the port of Beira. More in the following report.
Connectivity, either by rail, water or air, is key for unlocking barriers to trade and movement of people and goods. This is why President Hakainde Hichilema's administration is working hard to ensure that Zambia becomes linked by every means available. Currently, plans are underway to revamp the Chipata-Muchinji railway line, which will become an alternative route into the Nankara corridor.
Did highlight the need to for us to revamp, the Chipata-Muchinji rail line. We envisage that the pronouncements of trying to improve productivity in copper production as well as agricultural produce, we see the Chipata-Muchinji as another potentially viable route of being able to export our goods as we exploit the Nakala, what we're calling the Nakala corridor. Okay, there has been interest in the use of ports in Mozambique. So this is another project that my ministry, Transport and Logistics, working with the Ministry of Transport here in Mozambique, are trying to enhance, so that yet again, that is another mode of communication and transport that we should be able to enhance.
Mr. Tayali further explains that the soon-to-be relaunched flights between Zambia and Mozambique is key for economic diplomacy between the two nations.
We want to create Zambia as a hub, not only in aviation but also in rail and indeed road subsectors. Now, we want to thank the government of Mozambique for heeding the call for Zambia, asking them to begin flights into Lusaka. We feel that this will enable the two peoples of our two countries to be able to truly connect. I think that whatever aspirations are being talked about in terms of enhancing cooperation, in trade and other facets of life, it is important that the infrastructure be put in place.
The governments of Zambia, Mozambique and Zimbabwe have also opened talks for a railway line to link the three countries for movements of heavy cargo.
There is an agreement between Mozambique and Zimbabwe, that what we call the Beira corridor agreement. Now, there is no point in Zambia trying to reinvent the wheel. We have written the two governments of Mozambique as well as Zimbabwe that Zambia becomes a party to that agreement, because once that is in effect, we then hope that from Kafue, we should be able to have an extension of the rail line from Kafue into an area in Zimbabwe called, the Lion's Den. This, once actualized, becomes the shortest route to the seaport. Okay, it will have cut off close to 600 kilometers from the traditional, what we call the Dar es Salaam corridor.
It therefore should be noted that the trips that President Hakainde Hichilema is undertaking are yielding positive results for the nation of Zambia. Kalan Muchima, reporting for Zanis in Mozambique.
In our health segment, the Ministry of Health has launched the Pen Plus program for non-communicable diseases at Matero Level 1 Hospital and Mwachsompola Level 1 Hospital in Chibombo District. Speaking during the launch of the program, Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Lakson Kasonka says cases of non-communicable diseases have continued to be a concern to government, hence the launch of the program. More in the following report.
The Ministry of Health, in partnership with its cooperating partners, have today launched the Pen Plus project for non-communicable diseases clinics. The clinics have been launched at Matero Level 1 Hospital and Mwachsompola First Level Hospital in Chibombo District. The aim of this program is to improve access to quality healthcare services for non-communicable diseases.
This is, to us, one challenging field in that when we talk about non-communicable diseases, most of these are chronic diseases, long-term diseases. The main problem is that they don't pain. And you know Africans are pain. If it doesn't pain, it's not a problem. Until the day when he can't breathe or he can't walk, then he must be brought into hospital. Then it's too late. We are hoping that by this particular service, we are going to reach out to those people who have non-communicable diseases.
Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Lakson Kasonka launched the project.
So the PEN Plus is an integrated delivery strategy for chronic care of severe communicable diseases, otherwise popularly known as NCDs, at intermediary level facilities such as our district hospital here. This is a build-up on the World Health Organization's package of essential NCDs interventions for common and non-critical, non-communicable diseases.
SIDAs are the implementers of this program.
We've been able to train nurses and clinical officers, and I would like to recognize the qualified doctors from UTH and other higher training institutions that have facilitated the trainings of the nurses and clinical officers in all the different didactic as well as on-site mentorship and support to be able to handle these NCDs.
We want to pledge that we will continue to provide leadership in mobilizing the international community to support such initiatives. We will also continue advocating for increased resource allocation to support the implementation of this PEN Plus.
A vote of thanks was given by Jennifer Zulu, Jane Simalumba Zanis, in Lusaka.
Our staffer Lakson Makoza reports that a third-year nutritional technology student at Natural Resources and Development College, Aaron Sakala, says a good diet is cardinal in alleviating dietary-related diseases among children. Mr. Sakala says lack of nutritional knowledge among mothers has contributed to children suffering from dietary-related diseases.
These are third-year nutritionist students from the Natural Resources Development College, NRDC, who decided to put their resources together and hold a cooking demonstration as part of the commemoration of the World Health Day, which falls on the 7th of April. The aim of the cooking demonstration is to educate mothers on how they can prepare nutritious foods for babies above 6 months using locally available foods. Speaking on behalf of the students, Aaron Sakala, a third-year nutritionist student at NRDC, said a good health meal is cardinal in alleviating dietary-related diseases among children.
So the main purpose of this program is getting to teach mothers on a variety of foods that they can actually use to feed their children. So we are considering those that are actually 6 months plus, because we do know that 6 months, the baby is being slowly introduced to solid foods.
Poor food preparation has contributed to many children suffering from malnutrition, hence the need to equip mothers with information on how they can prepare nutritious meals for children.
Simple and cheap commodities that we have on the market, like the eggplants and the eggs, we are rest assured that we won't have our children suffering from malnutrition most of the times, even these other sicknesses that we get to experience from time to time.
The cooking demonstration has elated the mothers who have been taught new ways of preparing healthy meals such as vegetable, carpenter, and chicken porridge. One can only anticipate that the knowledge imparted on the mothers will be fully utilized for the betterment of the children. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makoza.
In Eastern Province, Provincial Permanent Secretary Paul Tole has appealed to the Rural Electrification Authority, REA, to connect power to women cooperative societies that are beneficiaries of the World Bank-supported $33 million United States Zambia Integrated Forest Landscape Project, ZIFLIP. Mr. Tole is concerned that the project has procured expensive equipment to allow the women's groups venture into value addition activities, but most of the beneficiaries are not connected to the national power grid. Details in the following report.
Value addition through agro-processing is seen as a game changer in improving livelihoods of rural communities that for a long time have not benefited much from the sale of raw agricultural produce. In Eastern Province, some women cooperative groups have been receiving support on the value addition activities from the World Bank sponsored $33 million Zambia Integrated Forest Landscape Project, ZIFIL. However, some of the beneficiaries of the project have faced challenges due to lack of electricity to operate the new equipment procured for them by the project, and this has not pleased Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tolling. This was at a meeting between the Rural Electrification Authority REA and the provincial heads of government departments in Chipata.
So, for the pilot program to benefit the larger Zambia, for our brothers also to enjoy what these people have introduced in Eastern Province, so we need electricity, like yesterday. In Chinjala here, they've got a good program. They have installed everything, even for making feedstock. I've toured most of the programs. But they're handicapped, isn't it? Do you have power in Chinjala?
Not yet.
Not yet. The machinery, when was it bought or brought in?
Over a year ago.
Over a year ago. 2 years, in fact. 2 or 3 years. The machine has been lying.
Lack of connectivity is equally worrying the ZIFIL project managers.
One of the biggest challenges has been the connectivity to the electricity, because most of the projects are value addition projects. So obviously the issue of electricity becomes critical. So getting the quotations that have been given to the groups by ZESCO are a little bit too high for community projects. They go in hundreds of thousands.
But the Rural Electrification Authority is ready to render support.
A beneficiary of government goodwill, in the sense that we have, in the recent past, we have seen a significant increase of budgetary funding to the Rural Electrification Authority by government. Just last year alone, the budgetary allocation to the Rural Electrification Authority was increased from the average of about 200 million to about 362 million kwacha.
The World Bank mission is soon expected in Eastern Province to evaluate the ZIFIL project, which is being implemented on a pilot basis in Zambia, and the outcomes here will determine its future. Reporting for Zanis News, Patso Dimbani in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
In Lusaka Province, government has commended state-owned enterprise short-horn printers for coming up with hologram printing, an innovation that will allow security features to be embedded on documents. Minister of Mines and Minerals Development Paul Kabuswe says the security features will prevent the forgery of documents. Speaking when he officiated at the event to launch hologram printing yesterday, Mr. Kabuswe says it is unfortunate that certain people have illegally obtained forged documents because of lack of the security innovation in printing. Mr. Kabuswe says fraud has to be tackled head-on if the country is to succeed. He says the product will contribute immensely to improving security in the area of printing. Speaking at the same event, Shorthorn Printers Acting Chief Executive Officer Ngoza Chama says the company has over the years established itself in security printing.
So this is Zambian made.
As government, we appreciate the efforts by Shorthorn Printers in that this new product will contribute significantly in enhancing security in the printing industry. In addition, the introduction of the new printing service is a demonstration of the company's commitment of meeting the needs of customers and indeed towards the growth of the sector in Zambia.
And in that process of scrutinizing documents, we discovered almost 1,000 teachers with fake documents as a council. So to enhance issues of the council, we're given some opportunity to do capacity building on security printing. So what is it about security printing? The value of security printing is that it provides protection of the documents from counterfeiting, tampering, or forgery.
Shorthand Printers Limited has over the years established itself in security printing. Therefore, introduction of hologram printing fulfills one of the objectives in the company's strategic plan to continue to provide quality and non-forgeable security documents to our clients.
Finally, in the news, the Chess Federation of Zambia has sent a 10-member squad to Kenya to participate at the 2023 Open Chess Championship to run from April 6 to 10, 2023. The tournament, which is being held at the Sarite Expo Center in Nairobi, has a prize bag of 42,000 United States dollars, with the first prize money for the men's category pegged at 8,000 US dollars. Speaking in an interview with Zanis Sports, Federation President Leslie Chikuse says the 5-day tournament has attracted 7 grandmasters from USA, Germany, and Egypt, among other countries. The Zambian delegation comprises international grandmaster Kilian Bwalia, national team player Andrew Kayonda, Zambia Open Chess champion Richmond Piri, and field master Prince Daniel. Chikuse says Zambia has also sent one of the best performing players from the disabled category, Aaron Banda.
Now, this is a very important tournament because it is a GM norm, and as I have said, it has attracted 7 grandmasters, meaning that it's a highly competitive tournament. It has also attracted other international masters from Uganda, from Morocco, from Egypt, and other countries. As Chess Federation of Zambia, we're very confident that the team will perform very well. This is because in 2020, we did hold the Zambia Open Chess Championship, where we invited 4 grandmasters, 2 grandmasters from Russia, and 1 grandmaster from Egypt, and 1 grandmaster from India. And our very own international master, Richmond Piri, won that tournament. So we know that a tournament where there are 7 grandmasters is not an easy tournament.
That sporting item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of stories that made headlines. Government cautions contractors working on the lead remediation project to incorporate local contractors. ZNS offloads millimill to mitigate shortage. Zambia-Mozambique in talks to revamp Mchinji railway line. And Chess Federation team heads to Kenya for Chess Open Championship. That's all we could package on this bulletin. On behalf of the entire production team, this has been Michelle Olvinda. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye until next time.